always trying to figure out who you are and who you want to be. And through life, you are continually changing. You are a changing person all the time. And which I think other people need to do, not just teachers, but everybody needs to just show a little kindness, not put other people down, assume the good in people, and I think it helps people more than anything.
A lot of times what it takes is someone to listen. At one point I have to disagree with you. I know what I am. I'm a god in training.
I thought you were going to say like 24601 for a second.
No, because that would have been an amazing reference.
I think learning about the signs too, like how to reading people is kind of an important thing in teaching. Not like reading people, but like reading situations and understanding people. Learning about people, behavior and things like that, to be able to watch for those kind of things, which I'm sure we'll learn more about. But also I think one-on-one interaction is nice too. Even if you're not able to give it to your student, make sure that they have the resources to, if they need to meet someone or a counselor. If you think someone needs help, go the extra mile and make sure they get that help.
You made two fantastic points. Learning the signs of the behavior of what abuse is, and then also finding out about the children themselves one-on-one time. I actually work at a YMCA when I'm not here. I take care of 87 children. And I can tell you when one of them's having a bad day. I can tell you which one, what's going on, because I worked there long enough that the kids know me. They know for a fact that if they're having a hard day, they talk to me. And it's from building a relationship with them. And that relationship is not easy at all, ever. Especially with high school students. Because they always give you like one-word answers. Mm-hmm. Like, how are you doing today? Good. Did you learn anything today? Stuff. Well, aren't you a basket of roses? All right. Is there any other points?
Yeah.
A safe place. Just make your classroom a safe place for their learning. Because you can't determine everything that they're going through. You can't determine things that things don't happen where they're getting teased in the classroom.
Can you explain that? How would you make your classroom a safe place?
The laptop a little bit so I can see her.
I guess kind of you have to watch out for and notice the little things, as we were saying before, the behavior, and if it requires you to go through some extensive talking to some students that are being rough, or and if it continues to take it out of the classroom to hide it or to their parents or whatnot. But most likely, if the kids are having that behavior to the other students that are struggling, it comes from the parents and their teaching. Yes, there's not always a whole lot that you can do.
There's always something that you can do, but it won't always stick. What you're describing is either neglect or abuse. The two extremes in which happen in most children's lives in one source or another, whether it be from work, where they neglect their children to financially support them, or it be through abuse. And most of us don't even realize we're abusing kids.
One other thing that I think I really noticed from Brother Wilson when he's teaching this class is he shows us respect and like admiration, but also he kind of makes it an atmosphere where we want to be friends with like everyone in the class. Like, I've not even talked to everyone in the class, but like I know things about certain students and I know like what they're studying and just kind of like different traits about them, and it makes you have like a greater respect for them and I think more learning opportunities when we have such people in the class, so we can create an atmosphere in our classrooms like Brother Wilson's where the students feel more open and like knowledgeable about each other. And in my high school they tried to do this thing to get that kind of atmosphere, and they did, it's called Connection Circle, and they had like a question of the day, and you'd get in a circle, and you'd like answer the question, and then go to the next person, and then connection time, yeah. And so like, you would get to be like, oh, I connected with so and so, but I just feel like it was so impersonal, and like the teachers didn't really care, and no one cared about your answer really. They were just like, oh, who can I connect with when it's my turn to connect? Like, and then they just kind of like zone out when they find that person that they can connect with. And so I think not being as structured like that, and just kind of like making the students feel open in the class, and that can be good.
Now, I've actually had a discussion with Brother Wilson about this. One of the big things, I'm not in any of you guys' classes, but if you haven't noticed, I really like talking. It's one of my flaws, and I accept it, depending on the situation. But I also have a very big personality. I can easily take over any conversation, anything happening, if I desire to. And I end up taking the place of Brother Wilson sometimes. Actually, it's mostly this other kid who talks way too much. But we end up switching our points, and we switch out the power struggle. Because once the teacher leaves, there's all of a sudden there's a hole where all the power is, where students come in and they talk a lot and try to make themselves sound the most amazing. I am not amazing. Anyway, that happens. Now, how would you be able to handle that situation with how you're describing how you want your class? How would you handle the power struggle for talking and everything in class?
Kind of evening out who speaks and participation, things like that. Thought about that. It's a hard one.
Like if you're asking a question in class.
How do you stop from one person talking the whole time and no one else getting a chance?
Because sometimes I think I've seen teachers that say, okay, can I have somebody in the back, say answer this question, or somebody on this side of the classroom. I think instead of like calling somebody out, because nobody wants to be called out on, and if you like one by one things, it becomes a little too professional and emotionless, I feel like. But if you kind of section it off and say like, okay, I want someone on this table, to share something, and someone on that table to share something. And so that way, it kind of gives people here who want to talk the opportunity before anybody else gets to separate it out.
I was totally imagining when you were talking about motionless Bueller.
I think there's definitely certain personality types too that like to talk, and they will dominate if they're allowed to. Like I was mission at zone conferences, mission person asked questions. Like I was paying attention one time, like the same 6 people, always answering the question. Like it's just the personalities of some people. That's the way they learn, is just talking something out and hearing it, and then they kind of click it in their mind, which is it's beneficial for them, but for the other members of the class, maybe that's not the way they learn, participating that way. So I think it's engaging different types of learning styles. So not just using one, or not trying to cater to one, but trying to broaden and let, maybe do 15-minute segments in your class, break it up to where, maybe opening exercises, like something like that to get the class going and participation, but also help the people that don't participate in the class setting, to participate in a small group or something like that.
Yeah.
Or for example, online where they know the topic and can think about it. Yeah. I like it. That's a good idea.
Another way I feel like we could do that is, depending on your class, obviously, and how the students would react to it, but maybe just having them group up, and then you could probably group up with people who, I'm saying probably, hypothetically, they'd probably get in their cliques a little bit, and so probably the quieter kids would probably get to keep saying probably. This is all hypothetical. I'm just guessing.
Hypothetically.
That this quieter kids would probably group together, and some of the louder kids would group together. And so if you you have them discuss in their groups, and then you called on the groups, then those quieter kids would have a chance to talk through things and think about things and then be able to share with the class and not be overpowered by the more talkative kids. But they would also get a chance to, like the talkative, more overpowering kids would get a chance to talk also.
And then talking about group 2.
Yeah.
That is extremely true. The only problem I see with that happening is a lot of my horse is bigger than your horse with talkative people, because I know for a fact I hate that game.
Maybe I'm one person, so I would ride a little horse.
I was told I need a big one.
People don't really learn; they just learn at their own pace. They're just like rogue learners, you know. It's just like the group setting might not be, or like even a classroom setting might not be the best way they learn. Like me, I just learned through listening to things. I don't remember much of what I've learned in high school or junior high, like specific things, but I just remember like things I listened to or had interest in. That's the way I've learned a lot of things. Even like reading, I was like behind in reading, and then I just listened to all the Harry Potter books because I really liked them. And my grade level caught up in one above grade level my reading. So it's just like certain things that there's their personal freedom, but then doing the best we can with the resources we have.
Any other points we wanted to discuss about the movie? I got some nays.
Do you have anything else that you would like to discuss with us?
Use a prescription.
That's what I assumed.
Oh, I did really like this part of the movie. He's saying how sometimes 17-year-olds forget what it's like to be 16-year-olds.
Oh yeah.
And I think as teachers, sometimes we forget how we felt when we were students. Like, we're all obviously students right now, but I think a lot of teachers forget what it's like to be students, and sometimes we need to take a step back and look at it from their point of view. And so I think that would be a good thing to do.
I completely agree with you. I had a teacher who, she was so old she stole lunch money from Jesus. She wrote dinosaurs in the first grade to class. That's how old she was, and she did not understand our generation at all. She didn't understand anything. She couldn't even hear anything most of the time. And what do we need to do so we don't get to that point where we don't understand our students anymore? What do we need to do as teachers?
So I think a lot of teachers have the same lesson plans for every single class that they teach. Where it's like, okay, this is our beginning, this is our lesson plan, and then this is how we finish up, and this is homework assignments or whatever. And they have the same structure all the time, and they don't change. They're not flexible, and your students need you to be flexible. They need you to be able to take a minute and go over something again, or reteach this again, and take a minute to answer people's questions. If they need to change their lesson to address something that your class is completely lost in before you move on, you need to be able to do that, because it's not about the lesson, it's about the students.
I like that. And sadly, I'm not flexible. I've tried yoga. It just doesn't work out, but
So always try to be flexible.
I try.
I think along with flexibility, I like how you use that word with the structure of a classroom, because I think just like flexibility of our bodies, we need to practice and get to that point. So if we try it once and we're like, oh, I can't do it, then you're not going to become any more flexible. You're just going to be tight for the next few days and be sore and be like, never going to do it again. So I think we need to kind of work up to it and practice being flexible with our schedules. And then the more we do it, the more comfortable we will be in the classroom. So.
And going along with under putting yourself in the student's shoes, not being too out of touch. It's you have to kind of put yourself in learning situations. A lot of teachers I know go get their masters 20 years after they've been teaching. That's a good experience for them to go back and be in the classroom again, or just observe other teachers. If you have a down period, just go watch another class, kind of observe how the students are, learning from the teacher. And then just remember, I think it comes down to empathy too, because empathy is a ability that can really be able to help feel others' emotions and understand them. So like we can do that with like the 7th graders.